Oh, your intro's done?
That was the intro.
Yeah,
that was as good as
Mickey, I thought
that's
you
all
did.
I had. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode with JMC. We got CJ in the club.
Mickey.
And Celeste.
So today we got a new topic for you. We're going to be talking about hypocrisy.
Yep.
Specifically with parents.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, your intro's done?
That was the intro. That was as good as
Mickey, I thought
that's
you
all I
did.
had.
Parents are hypocrites. I think that every single generation of parents are hypocrites to their kids. But I don't think that you can be 100% truthful with your kids either.
Truthful.
Everything you just said is true.
Yeah.
But truthful about...
Like, you have to hide certain things. You can't be like, oh... Like, there's things like sex. You can't be like to your kids when they're younger, sex is so amazing. It's the greatest thing ever. Because then your kids are going to be like, oh, really? Let me go try. Granted, it's harder now because you can learn anything on the internet.
That's true.
That's true.
Literally.
You can learn anything from your friends in school.
Not even the internet. I have learned more things about, like, sexual things from being in school.
Yeah. Or,
my friends, like you said. Or just people that you come up... Like, the world is just so... large.
It's changing so quickly.
Yeah, and there's so much information out there that even if the parent is not discussing that with their kids, their kid is going to find out regardless. Which is why I think that why not have that conversation with your kid by yourself instead of being a hypocrite when you made your kid, right? So you did it.
Yeah.
So don't act like it's not a part of life. Let's just talk about it and actually tell them the rights and the wrongs or how to, the right way to go about it.
I think that what parents lack, granted we can talk a lot because we're not parents, but
we
say so much. I think what parents lack
based off experience.
Is first of all, trust your kids. Not completely, because I know I was sneaky. I did a lot of sneaky things.
Trust your kid until they give you a reason not to trust them.
Okay.
But if they give you a reason not to trust them, still open up your heart to being able to trust them again.
At that point, when you're wondering if your kid gives you a reason not to trust them, the thing that as a parent I feel you should be is like, what made them feel as though they couldn't trust me enough to tell me this? And is it something I'm doing, or is it just like their own little, they're a child, so they don't really know the vibes type of thing, whatever the case is? Because God knows, man, I was doing my own stuff when I was in school, running behind people's backs, doing whatever I was doing, and at the end of the day, I wasn't giving nobody a reason not to trust me because I was still doing my work, I was still going to school, I was being on time.
But let's be honest,
but you were still doing things that
I was still doing things they wouldn't know.
You
know what I mean? I was just being sneaky and being given good excuses. But for the kids who don't have that, if you're a parent, be like, yo, I know I was doing sneaky stuff back in the day. Let's be realistic. Be honest with yourself.
But I think that's the reason why they don't trust their kids, because they're projecting.
They were being lawless in this.
Exactly. Because when it was them and they were kids, they were being sneaky.
That's right.
Which goes back to the whole hypocrite thing. You cannot sit here and expect your kid, don't do drugs, don't drink alcohol, don't have sex. And what type of example are you leading?
Yeah.
If you do all those things.
Especially,
don't say don't do it. Just give them all the information they need. Tell them what's right, what's wrong. And if anything, you should want them to talk to you about those things, because who do you want them to call if they're in danger? It doesn't matter. This is what kills me. And this is like, parents act like their kids cannot make mistakes.
Exactly.
Like, if you make one mistake, it's the end of the world. You know how many mistakes our parents probably have made in their lives? But
continue to make on a regular basis.
On a day-to-day basis. But when we do it,
it's like, I don't trust you. You can't do this anymore. I'm taking away all your freedom. Right. All of the things that you have. Actually,
when you did those things growing up, did your mother do that?
Listen, at the end of the day,
did you get caught? Exactly.
Exactly. At the end of the day, human parents and their children are both human. Everyone is going to make mistakes at the end of the day. So it's unfair and hypocritical to sit there and pretend as though someone who is brand new to the world would have any experience in comparison to you in your old age.
But I know that
we're all going to be adults one day. So at some point, you and your parent are going to be on the same standard. So why not just give me the respect to just,
Oh, and that kills me too, because now we're adults.
Right.
So it's like, and people in our age group, it's a common like theme where the parents are treating them like children,
even though
and it's like
grown adults. I'm legally able to go anywhere and purchase a drink. I'm 21.
Well, not exactly. Me. I'm still 20.
But you're still 18. But I'm just saying, like, even
20?
You're gonna notice there's no difference when you turn 21. You're still gonna get treated the same way. Our parents don't care about that damn. Nobody cares. Caribbeans. They don't care. I think
35.
No matter from since I was 15 to now, I don't see a difference.
Yeah, you need to learn. I think parents need to learn how to edit their relationship with their kids.
No, definitely.
And these aren't going to be the same. Yeah, edit your relationship.
Edit. Just because you were once this way with them when they were 10 doesn't mean when they're 21 years old and grown with boobs and ass and private areas
and a beard
with
if you're
hair
a guy,
on them. You know, I'm a grown ass woman.
Anyways, I have some things here that I wanted to review in terms of this topic, like different things that are said by parents that could be deemed hypocrisy and how y'all feel about it, right?
Okay.
So number one is, I can lie, but you can't lie. I think that's a big one, personally, for me, mostly for the fact that I'm not trying to expose nobody here.
Try your best. Try your best.
Bro, listen, Caribbeans, my immigrants, y'all you're here with me right now, okay? You don't have the same options these Americans, more specifically these
millennials, or no?
I put what I mean here.
Oh,
these people do, right? And the fact of the matter is, like, you really have to take so many extra steps if you want to try and lie. But because a parent is an adult or has more experience than you, or whatever the case is, they can freely lie and say all kinds of bullshit to you and it not be a problem. And I think that that's dumb.
For example.
Oh, give me an example, bro.
For example.
Give me an example.
Let's just put this into perspective. Why did I just forget what I was going to say?
Damn.
Why does, like, just for instance, my mother, let's just put that.
Okay.
You feel like it's okay for you to go behind my back and talk to my aunts, my uncles about me, right? And tell them a whole bunch of stuff. Then to my face, you're acting all like you didn't tell them anything,
but
right?
You were so close.
Right? Like you didn't tell them anything.
It's,
but then
wait, this is another one.
I would have asked
another one. This is another one. It's you and me against the family. Whole time going behind your back, telling all of your family members your business.
But no, the same way. Let's just say my mom is telling my aunts and uncles my information. Can I go to you and ask you about their marriage and about where their private parts are going? And can I ask you about their day-to-day life? I can't. If I cannot, you get what I'm saying?
Protecting everybody else except for your children.
If I cannot go and ask you the same questions that you're telling everybody else about me, to me that's being a hypocrite, because you're going and you're exposing my information and I have no idea. You're lying to me about that, but I can't go to you and ask for, you know what I'm saying?
And here's what is crazy. I feel like as kids or children in these situations, you go crazy trying to defend your parents to other people, and if anybody has anything to say in their mouth about them, you're like, no, that's not accurate. That's my mother, or that's my father, whatever. But then it turns around, and it's like, yeah, my daughter did this and this and this, and actually I'm disappointed in her because she did this, and she went over to the corner and she did that other thing. And where is the loyalty? That's being
not to out my mom, but this is just a perfect example. Like, there was a time where people in my family were saying a lot of bad things about her and like portraying her as a thief. Ooh. And I was going so hard because at the end of the day, that's my mother. I know she's not no damn thief. So that's my mom. I'm gonna go hard for her. You're not gonna talk to her sideways. Girl, I make one blood cleat mistake and there's no protecting me. There's no
they giving your whole business portfolio out to the family.
Celeste was right in this situation. No,
that's what I'm saying.
Celeste, you did this, that, and the third.
No benefit of the doubt.
No benefit of the doubt. But I'm over here protecting you. That's being a hypocrite.
And the thing is, you beg parents. Oh, wait.
I'm so sorry.
So the next, do you want to do another quote?
Yeah. The next one that we have here is, I can express my feelings, but you can't.
Oh, bro, don't piss me off.
Listen, this is going to be a very triggering video for a lot of people.
Oh my
right?
God.
Parents feel the space, and because there's nobody else to control them, there's nobody else to check them, they can do whatever they want.
Because their mothers are no longer there. They don't have a say in what they do because they don't live with them. And
sometimes you have households where there's only one parent.
Right.
So there's really nobody checking them.
Right.
And even if they have opinions from other family members, it doesn't matter because they're gonna do what they want at the end of the day, and that's their own. That's their kid. There's nobody else.
And even
there.
in some houses who do have two parents, there's always, I don't know, I'm not gonna say always, but my situation, one is more dominant than the other. So it doesn't matter what Gregory says because Miss Ma'am is still gonna do whatever she wants. So if Gregory comes and defends me as he should, Miss Ma'am is still acting a certain way.
That's crazy, but true.
Hold on 1 second. Y'all are mad loud. Anyways,
what the freak?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Just a very triggering video, purely for the fact that a lot of these things I feel are things we're experiencing more like currently within the past couple years, especially for the fact that we have the wherewithal and the emotional understanding now to be like,
this is how I feel.
That's suspicious.
Right. This is how
that's
I feel.
Weird.
Right.
You know,
this is how I feel.
This is how I feel, and I would appreciate it if you could, at the very least, not invalidate my entire experience.
And here's a problem that parents don't understand, children don't understand. It goes back and forth. Just because you have an issue with your child or your parent doesn't mean that you can't have a relationship. It just means you need to communicate better.
Yep.
And people don't understand that. Once something goes wrong in a relationship, and this applies to all relationships, it's, oh, I hate you. Oh, I can't trust you.
I don't want to talk to you anymore.
I don't want to talk to you anymore. Excuse me? So you're going to...
Let me get this straight.
You never loved me.
Right.
No, this just means we're having an issue.
You're ungrateful.
Hello?
Yes.
What?
That just means we need to both grow up and have a conversation.
I just feel like at the end of the day, when it comes to that, if you as a parent are coming to your child, right, and you're telling them, hey, I really don't like that you did this, that, and the third, where in your brain does it tell you that your child's supposed to just shut up and not say anything back? I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a conversation.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, you're mad about something that they did, so you can't really say anything. Exactly. They have to explain why they did the thing, or else they're just going to do it again.
Exactly.
It's just like, at the end of the day, if you want to come to me, and this is another thing that goes into like, I can't express my feelings, but you can. Don't come to me rah and yelling at me, and then when I have that energy back, you're confused and I'm disrespectful. How is that disrespectful? So it's not disrespectful for you to yell at me. We're two humans at the end of the day.
It's because
mother and daughter, father and son doesn't mean anything. We're
a lot of parents don't believe that they have to respect their children.
But that makes no sense as an individual.
Because they're older. Because respect your elders.
That's why people grow up and they end up putting their parents in nursing homes.
Yep.
Because you have no respect for your child.
Exactly right.
The same way that you want your child to be quiet and have a low tone when they're expressing themselves is the same way that you should come to them with a low tone and express yourself.
Literally.
Otherwise, you yell at me, the natural human instinct is
to
yell back.
Hold on, guys. I think that I want to use our energy right now for a thumbnail, so everybody get together and give your best thumbnail pose. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh, wait.
Anyways, the main point of that, parents, y'all need to grow up already.
Yes,
thank you.
Y'all need to grow up already.
Grow up and don't, just because you're sitting in a position of power with your children,
exactly,
you're not going to get anywhere with them if you don't recognize that they also are valid.
View your child how you, and treat your child and view your child how you want to be viewed. I do agree that yes, your parent is not technically your friend, but
or
you're equal, but there should be a good enough relationship where you have enough respect to communicate without yelling, without screaming. Give your child the open opportunity to say what made them upset. Don't just be like, you have no right to be upset because I pay all the bills. Oh yeah, I didn't know that my mental health depends on whether or not Con Edison gets their money.
Okay.
Because I didn't know that my mental health and the fact that I'm going through something in the moment has anything to do with the fact that you pay the bills. What does that have to do with anything? Okay.
And that's another thing. You pay the bills, but it's not like I wouldn't help out.
If I had the capacity to.
If I had the capacity to. And I'm saying this now as we're adults, but when we were younger. Because when you were younger.
Even when we were younger, I was hearing that.
That's
crying.
Oh. Because even when I was younger, or even when, and I'm saying this for a lot of people because it's so common.
Yeah.
When people are younger, it's too common. Because it's like, oh, when you're younger, you're so ungrateful, you're this, you're that. First of all, I didn't ask to be born. That's the first thing.
That's number one.
That's the first thing. I did not ask.
Oh, so sorry.
I did not
ask to be here.
And now I have to worry about myself because the only thing you're worrying about is paying the bills.
And it's my responsibility to do that when you literally gave birth to me. You played a part in having me.
So if I have to
you
take care of my mental health and take care of eating and take care of all of these other things when I didn't ask to be here, it may seem like a little bit, but I didn't ask for any of this.
You didn't ask to be here.
So you're saying that I'm ungrateful? It's not that I don't want to be grateful to you.
I am grateful.
But I have my own problems. My problems are valid. Just because I am not an adult that's paying bills, because I literally cannot, does not mean that I'm ungrateful.
I'm talking in the sense of teens.
Facts.
In the sense of teens and preteens, whatever. Even our age group now. It happened again.
You forgot.
I'm not saying that when you're a child versus when you're an adult, there shouldn't be a difference in how you like show your parents appreciation or you give them that type of respect. But I do think that when you're younger, you don't have any control over it versus when you're older, you have the control.
And this is another thing. Parents don't show gratitude for their kids, but they think, and they don't even teach their children to be grateful, but they expect children to demonstrate gratitude.
All you taught me how to say was thank you, bless you. Like the basic minimum of respect. And I'm a very respectful person because of how I was raised. I'm not taking that away from my parents.
There's a lot of good.
There's a lot of great. Like I noticed the difference between my peers sometimes when I go out versus like how we would talk to people. No, you would be surprised how many people did not learn like common respect growing up. I'm opening the door open, you're not saying thank you. I will turn around and say you're welcome. Like things like that. We were taught greatly in that sense. But the deeper stuff about like what was the word you said?
Gratitude.
Like
because they're like,
explain to your kid that they should appreciate people who are good to them.
Yeah. Teach them how to do it. You can't just expect that they're gonna learn that on their own.
And you have to do it as well.
It's like everything else. You teach them how to walk. You teach them how to talk. You teach them how to cook. You teach them how to clean. Teach them how to be grateful because it's your job.
You preach. Because if you're telling me that I should have, like for instance, I have a story. This girl that I decided not to be friends with anymore ended up coming to my house and she was trying to talk to me because I was answering her. We had not a great friendship, but we had a relationship to the point where she can come to my house and my mom will open the doors, open arms. Yeah. I was not ready to talk to the girl in that moment. I didn't want to talk to her because I had a problem. At the end of the day, I don't have to open up my door for anybody if I don't want to. Yeah. And my mom was just pressuring me like, oh, you're foul. Like, you should have at least talked to her. And in my head, I'm like, when you fall out with your friends and they text you and you don't want to answer, do you do that? Yeah. No. Give me the same respect. Don't be a hypocrite. If I'm not ready to talk to somebody, mind you, you don't even know half of what the girl has done to me because we're not going to out our friends to our parents. I'm not going to sit here and give you the list of things the girl has done to me. True. But you should still have a level of respect as a parent. My child does not want her. You should be the priority. Here. My child does not want her here. I'm not going to bring her into the house. Because if my mother's friend came knocking on my door to say she's trying to speak to her, I would have literally opened the door and be like, my mom does not want to talk to you. What's up? Mm-hmm. Can I help you?
That's what I'm saying. It's like we learn how to protect our parents before they ever even protect us.
But when it's me, you're letting the person in open arms. Oh, hey, my daughter's so wrong for not talking to you. Like, girl, if you fell out with your friend the same way that I did, you would not open the door. I don't want to speak to you right now.
Literally. And honestly,
because I would literally look at you in your face like this and would not say a word. I don't have anything to say to you.
Expect the worst from their kids, and it really makes you question where it comes from. And a lot of it is projection, but you need to heal before you have kids.
And on that note,
some parents don't know that they have to be healed.
That's true as well.
But yeah,
they just think it's life. Right. That you're just gonna have a kid and it's gonna work out so wonderfully because that's the way that life goes. But no, you need to heal before you have kids because if not, you're gonna have a horrible relationship with them.
Or at least if you're not going to heal before, when you find out, okay, I have this kid, really think about what it is, what it means to be a parent, and really sit back and try to do better at least. Yeah. Give your kids the opportunity to do better and to, I don't know, just be better based off of the experiences you had that didn't work out. Don't be a hypocrite and not tell them certain things. Tell them. Tell them so that they're aware of how they would maneuver in their life.
Literally.
And it's like, give your kid... it's hard because it's like they're ungrateful, but if you only sat down and understood how much your kid cares about you, I feel like a lot of relationships would be different.
Oh, 100%. No, exactly. And honestly, based off of what the things that you were saying before as well, I want to move on to the other because we have two more. So I want to move on to the next one. This one is, I will follow my interests, but you have to do what I want you to do.
Y'all know that's a story. That's a story of my life right now. It's funny you say that. You really just got me heated.
Oh my God, it's Black History Month.
What? Oh wow.
No,
Why did that make you think of that?
I don't know.
It's about to be over.
Basically, you as a parent forcing your child to do what you think is good for a lot of people, at least for a lot of friends that I know as well, athletes, people who are in larger than life jobs, doctors, things of that nature. A lot of times their parents are the ones who are in those occupations / jobs / whatevers, and they try to force that onto their children because either they didn't get to live out the dream that they wanted to, or they didn't get to fulfill all the goals that they wanted to, and they think that they can live vicariously through their child, when at the end of the day, your child is not an extension of you.
No.
Your child is an autonomous being outside of you.
A completely different being.
Like, that you chose to make, and at the end of the day, if you wanted something that was gonna follow your every whim, then you should have just built a robot, bro.
Or you could have gotten a puppy.
They're
easily trained.
They're easily trained, but this is a human being we're talking about, bro. Like, I have a friend, and I don't know if he watches these videos, but Kezron, shout out to you, my man. His family, him and his father, I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but him and his father are the epitome of what I think the best relationship between a parent and a child is. There will be people who will say, oh, you give your son too much freedom, or you give your son too much leeway or whatever, but they communicate so heavily. You would think that they're each other's best friend. It was about my boy Kezron. Him and his pops smoked together, right? They smoked together, and as soon as Kezron turned 17, I believe.
That's the same age reference.
17.
Right?
That's not when he started. I don't know when he started
sure,
but
started with
his pops learned about it.
Yeah.
Him and his pops was like, oh yeah, I do it too. I just hide it behind your back because I don't think it was my job to introduce that to you, which I totally understand at the end of the day. But literally when he was explaining the story to me, I was like, that's crazy. Hilarious. But as soon as they started doing whatever together, he was explaining to me how, like, bro, we have such a close relationship. Like, for his dad's birthday, he knows what his dad likes in terms of just everything. In everything. Like, he bought his dad his dad likes Game of Thrones. There's a liquor bottle that is a limited edition Game of Thrones bottle for whatever brand of alcohol, I don't remember. But it was like $400. And Kezron was working, and you would think, oh, I'm working for my money as a child or as like a teenager. I'm using my money for myself.
Right.
But he worked for that and used that money to get his father a decent gift.
But you know what that might be a reflection of? That might be a reflection of how much he loves his father, because not how much his father does for him.
But just what his father allows him to be,
but how
bro.
His father genuinely makes him feel. The fact that he even put that much money up for his father just goes to how much respect
and
he has
because apparently you can't get that anywhere. You gotta actually.
He really thought about
search
it.
And
this is, I don't know how many more topics we have, but this is something that I want to say. If it's a parent watching or if it's a child watching, your relationship with your child is always going to be different than anybody else's relationship.
Correct.
So you need to start listening to your child and listening to your parent, because you can compare it to a million different things, but you don't know other people's lives.
Exactly.
You don't know what happens behind closed doors. They can be smiling in your face. Oh, I drink with my mom, but their mom's an alcoholic. They could be like, oh, I smoke, we shoot up.
But they saw their mom shooting up in the bathroom when they were 5.
Exactly. Wow, I apologize, guys, because this video keeps getting cut off so many times.
There's a lot going
storage.
On.
Yeah. We have to, there's a lot of
things
that
content creators now.
Yeah, so we have so many videos.
And we kind of need to get new phones and all that, but you know, we're still gonna push
out
the content.
So if you want, you can recommend what we should get.
You know what? And not only that, why don't you follow, like, and subscribe so that our channel blows up so we can actually afford to get these phones.
Thank you. Because that's really what the problem is.
Anyways, let's get into our last one. So the last one is, I can say no, but you can't say no.
Am I a slave? Am I a whore? You don't even tell that to people on the street.
You can say no, but I can't say no.
As a parent, because you have authority / whatever responsibility over your child, a lot of parents believe that I can say no to whatever my child wants, but they can't say no to me because at the end of the day, what I'm doing is best for them. When in reality, I believe a lot of the time, parents are doing what's best for themselves, and 100%. It's really just a matter of, well, this will make my life easier. And even at the sacrifice of their fun, their enjoyment, their mental well-being, whatever the case may be, at the end of the day, they'll be safe, physically at least, and That's all that matters, because once they turn 18, they can do whatever bullshit they want to do on their own.
Which is crazy considering that parents want kids to take care of them when they're older. So really what you want is payback for the 18 years that you raised me.
So shouldn't you put in a little bit more effort?
Yeah.
If you don't want to end up in a nursing home?
Like, you would think it would be in their best interest to make sure that their child grows up in the best, most comfortable, most happy way possible.
And that doesn't mean that you don't teach your child's hard work and discipline. Don't get it twisted. We're not saying that that kids should be lazy and do nothing. But you should have decent respect from your parents.
Let's acknowledge the good and not focus.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Parents, at least parents that I have experienced, like I'm friends with a lot of parents because I was the kid in school who was like, oh, you're going out with CJ? I bet he's a respectful kid. It should be fine wherever he's going.
Yeah, people always felt comfortable letting their kids go out with me and my mom.
Bro, I was taking your kids out there outside to the Bay Area to just do bear fuckery. So please do not use me as some responsible
going on vacation.
Yeah, scapegoat type thing. No, bro. Like, I was doing the same things as everybody else. The only difference was for a lot of parents was that I had things that I felt I needed to do those things, and the other kids did not. Right. And that's not on me.
Right. So I don't kind of really have to go in. It kind of does have to go into what we're saying. Let me know if it doesn't. Yeah. But your relationship with your friend's parents speaks volumes about how you were raised. Yeah. If you walk into the house and you don't say good afternoon. Like,
how was your day?
Basic conversation. It doesn't have to be a whole.
You know what I mean? I feel like I used to be very scared to go to my friends' houses and stuff, not because I was disrespectful or whatever, it's just scary to like be in front of an adult. But now as I got older, I'm just free willy, like, hey mom, like, you know, like, just vibe.
Exactly.
You know, and I think that comes from how you were raised.
Because you have to make the people, like, that's their house.
Like I want to let you know that I'm safe in your space so that you don't feel like I'm uncomfortable and I don't feel uncomfortable. I want to be myself in whatever house I'm in. If I'm going to anyone's crib, I want to be myself.
Because you don't not have to be there.
I think that in terms of the question that we have now, where it's like your parents can say no, but you can't say no, I think that translates into like if your parent is like, oh,
that's bad for your future relationships. That's bad, especially for girls when you have a guy and then they don't know that they're allowed to say no. Are you kidding me? You have to think about how the way that you treat your children is going to impact them, and when they go out and live their lives without you. Then if they don't feel like they can say no to their parent, why would they
very upset.
Yeah, why would they think that they can say no to their boyfriend? Why would they think that they can say no to their friends?
When you bring up your kid and you give them the mentality that like no, then when they go out into public, it's like an emotional thing where it's like
they minimize themselves and it eats at their insecure, like it creates insecurities. It makes them make themselves like it's not a good.
It makes them have to lessen their own.
It makes them feel like a burden. It's so many different things.
It's like I don't want to say no to this, and it can get really deep, like in terms of like even sexual, like. If your girl child is in a situation where she's with a man or whatever, and she doesn't want to do something, she might feel uncomfortable to say no. But it's like because she doesn't know how to. It's like I don't want to make him unhappy.
And it translate into if I say no to this person, I'm disrespecting them, and they don't want to be disrespectful because
they don't want to make the other person feel.
God forbid.
Or they don't even want to make the other person feel bad because they're doing something bad to them. Yeah, because that's the way their parents
treat them. But it's like no is no, and that carries on. Parents do not realize, like, at the end of the day,
kids watch you, bro.
Kids watch you, and what you do,
do as I say, what you not do, as I do,
bro. What you do when what you expose your kids to when they're younger. For instance, if you're arguing with your spouse all the time, or if you're always angry, that travels on into your kids.
If you have taken
stays with them
a basic psychology course, that's the first thing that they teach you.
Oh, please, because my mother's a nurse and she took psychology. Wow. I need you more than enough. All right, guys. Our phones just keep on not messing with
no space.
No space.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah.
Our phones are shutting off in the middle of the video consistently, so we're just gonna end it here. It was a pretty great video, though.
Yeah. We had a lot to say on the topic. It literally made us think about other topics to talk about on the channel.
Right.
So if you want to see the next one, subscribe. It's free.
comment down below. Right.
Know.
What are you going to say?
It's a button. Press the button.
Click like, click subscribe, and comment down below what other topics that y'all want to talk
Period.
about. And also, if you are a Caribbean/Black diaspora child,
comment your experience.
Please comment your experience.
Yeah. Or DM us. We love having conversations about these things.
Yeah.
And follow us on all of our social media. Everything's going to be in the description box down below. And we'll see you guys in our next podcast. Bye.
Deuces.